Policing in the United States is a controversial topic to say the least. As I've covered in another video, the country has the highest number of paramilitary police units like SWAT teams in the world, among other absurd statistics. But this wasn't quite the case when this happened. What you're looking at is a graph of violent crime per 100,000 residents in Chicago, Dallas, New York City, Phoenix, Los Angeles, and San Diego. You see that massive drop? That is what we'll be talking about in this video on Stuff. In the winter of 1989 to 1990, crime in America was reaching an all-time high, even higher than the Prohibition era of the 1920s when gangs ruled the streets. But then it just suddenly dropped like Wile E. Coyote running off a cliff. It dropped so fast that the same economists who had previously been predicting world doom in the streets of America are now scrambling to find answers for this sudden drop with the same futility as Wile E. Coyote's attempts to capture the Roadrunner. But they came up with various reasons, and here are the top 8 from the LexisNexis database. Innovative policing strategies, increased reliance on prisons, changes in the crack market, aging population, tougher gun control laws, strong economy, and others, including increased use of capital punishment. So which of these has merit? Well, with innovative policing strategies, it was the most commonly cited explanation, and this may be due to the fact that it appealed to the factors that most contribute to the formation of conventional wisdom, according to John Galbraith, a Canadian economist. When Robert Giuliani came to be mayor of New York City in January 1994, it was him and his police commissioner, William Bratton, that really brought this theory to the most attention. They used the broken window theory, which states that minor crimes, if left unpunished, turn into major and violent crimes. So the NYPD started policing the turnstile jumpers and the public urinators, even with homicides being a major and most prevalent threat at the time. The idea being that that turnstile jumper may be trying to escape as he or she is wanted for yesterday's homicide, for example. As violent crime fell, New Yorkers were very pleased with their mayor and commissioner. Eventually, the two men fell out because Bratton got on to Time magazine, and so Giuliani got pissed and fired him, or rather, Bratton was forced to resign. But the point is that homicide rates fell from 30.7 to 8.4 per 100,000 people between 1990 and 2000. That, along with the 14% increase per capita of police officers across America during the 90s, gave people a solid explanation as to why crime rates fell so dramatically, as well as an aging population and a strong economy. All of these are merit-worthy, but they aren't the only reasons. Think about how an aging population affects crime rates. As people get older, they become less inclined to do impulsive or dangerous things such as commit a crime. People become more sensible, so therefore crime rates drop. This explanation didn't get much media attention until after the event, but it's true, the population was getting older. But it didn't do a lot, if anything, to bring down crime. It was the size of the younger demographic, the 15 to 25-year-olds, that had the most effect. To properly understand this, we have to travel to the Eastern European country of Romania, where in 1966 the communist dictator with a last name I won't pronounce, here he is now, made abortions illegal except for women over 40 or with 4 or more children, or for women with significant standing in the Communist Party in the country. He was the kind of guy that epitomizes cruel dictatorships. He built massive palaces for himself like this one and neglected and brutalized his people. He had 40 houses for his wife Elena and provided her with large supplies of furs and jewels. He gave government positions to his family members, and all in all was a very bad guy. Nikolai's abortion ban was supposed to boost Romania's economy by rapidly increasing its population to make it a stronger nation. It went to such a level that the menstrual police would round up women at work and force them to take pregnancy tests, except for the aforementioned demographic of women. If a woman was found not pregnant multiple times, she could be fined a celibacy tax of 10% of their monthly salary. At the same time, all forms of contraceptives and sex education were banned. This cruel law that was literally instituted overnight resulted in infant mortality rates of 83 per 1,000 children born, compared to a Western average of 10 per 1,000. 1 in 10 babies were born underweight, and any children born weighing 1,500 grams or 3 pounds and 5 ounces or less was classified as a miscarriage and refused treatment. I must stress though that this was enforced by government officials and not doctors. The dictator's plans completely backfired, of course, and in December 1989, in the city of Timisoara, thousands of people, most of whom were aged between 13 and 24, were in the streets protesting his rule. The young age of the majority of the protesters didn't stop the police shooting and killing dozens of them, however. Nikolai and Elena attempted to flee the country with $1 billion of stolen tax money, but were caught, trialed rather crudely, and executed by firing squad on Christmas Day of 1989. With that bit of history over, do you see where this video is going? As you've probably guessed by now, it is my belief that legalized abortions is the most significant factor that affects crime rates. This is because if abortions are illegal like communist Romania, or anywhere else really, then a mother may not want a child, which would result in her resenting it and not giving it a proper home to grow up in. The legalization of it in the 60s in America for certain states in the cases of rape, incest, and if the pregnancy was dangerous to the mother's life, and then the full legalization in January 1973 meant that the people most likely to grow up and become criminals of some sort never grew up, because they would never be born. This video is ever watched, it may provoke various reactions, so now it's time to know what you think. Leave a comment on this video with your thoughts and opinions, what you liked and what you didn't like. If you enjoyed this video, do leave a like as it helps my channel grow and get noticed, and if you enjoyed it so much that you want to subscribe, then go ahead, do it. It'll make me feel much better about myself. So until the next time, have fun and I'll see you later.